Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to do a should you poll on the next banners, which will be Paine and Tidus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly talk about all the characters and then talk about if I think you should poll on these banners or not. So first off, we have the Tidus banner. So it's got Tidus, Rosa, and a Miditelian. Now what I'm going to say here is like for the side characters on all these banners, a Miditelian is probably the most relevant one because a Miditelian's call I think has a lot of value. A Miditelian as a character is all about like turn deletion and gravity attacks. Now a Miditelian as a LD only character probably won't be finding party slots. Even when a Miditelian like is fresh and brand new, typically wasn't bringing them to the party, but their call is one of the best in the game because it's very easy access to turn deletion, and it does apply a lot of debuffs, and sometimes you want that, right? So I think a Miditelian's call is super valuable. It is a really nice one to have. I would say it's not Raijin level where like every player needs to have it, but I would say if you are going for Tidus or something else on the banner, then definitely like aim to get that Miditelian LD. But I don't know that you have to go in here just for the Miditelian LD, even though it is a very, very good call to have. I think once again, you get your Raijins, your Rydias, that's what I'm using a lot more these days. Sometimes I just throw a Miditelian on for fun, but it is nice to be able to delete turns on demand. So it is a very good call, right? Rosa, she is an Aura bot support character, right? And typically for these side banner characters, these are the type of characters that you can get away with a little bit. I would say for Rosa, though, this just really isn't her time right now. There are a lot better support characters you can be running. Almost everybody probably went for Aerith, or a lot of players I've been heavily recommending Aerith. Aerith, I believe, is still on banners when this drops. So you're much better off going for a character like Aerith, who has FRBT, way better effects, way better auras than a character like Rosa. So Rosa is not a character you should be aiming for. Can you use her in the party? Sure, you can get away with her if you have two other really strong Echo characters with her. She's not like a total L in the party, but she's not a character you need to be aiming for right now, right? Now Tidus is a very good damage dealer. You can see I've invested into him. I've got blue armor, green BT. I would say Tidus is still solid, but this isn't like one of the times he's shining his best, mainly because this is a literal rerun. He's not getting Echo or anything at this time. But Tidus is still like a good enough character to run. I would say if you're running two other Echoes on the team, you can run him. His damage is still really good. He gets shot follow-ups with this BT effect, so he gets his shot follow-up normally, but then he gets double follow-ups with the BT effect, which is really, really nice. So he can work in some of these off-turn damage comps and things like that. Tidus, though, is also very speedy, so it's very easy for him to take control and pretty much take up the whole force time if you want him to be your main force time character. But I think with all of the other stuff this month, I really can't recommend this banner right now, to be honest. The other thing with Tidus is I know a lot of you all, he's a fan favorite character, and he's had times in the game where he is top tier meta, so a lot of veterans already got this guy. So I would say for someone like me, veterans, like this banner is going to be like, no question, you're just not going to touch this thing. I would say even for most players, this isn't really where you need to go right now. Once again, Quina, Aerith, and I think even Core coming up in a little bit. These are the type of banners I think the average player should be going on. This right here I don't think is where you need to be summoning. So I'm going to say recommend that you guys don't summon on this. Unless you're someone that, like, you have a lot of extra resources and you want that Miditelian call, like, I think there's some value in that, right? Now the other banner here is we've got Paine, Guy, and Ida. I'm kind of excited for this just because Ida LD is like the only LD I don't have. So I'm hoping I pick that up with tickets on my way to getting like maybe Paine FR or something, right? So let me just tell you a little bit about these characters. Ida is probably most well known for Ida Roth combo, which is a combo she can do with Sephiroth. Ida is basically a speedy damage dealer is what she is. Now the thing is as a primary damage dealer in the party, she's not really going to be great right now because she's LD only, doesn't really get a rework or anything crazy. The reason you would go for Ida is if you want to do the Ida Roth combo. Now the Ida Roth combo in my opinion isn't very fun. It's very similar to that Ultimisia loop that I showed earlier. It's just something where you can like cheese a fight and go crazy and get a fight done very slowly, and you can let the game kind of auto run, right? So Ida basically has this situation where when she breaks an enemy, she gets an extra turn, but it works differently than other characters. So like character like Lightning, for example, if Lightning breaks, Lightning gets a free turn, but then on the free turn, Lightning can't just do it again. Well, Ida's operates in a way where it does work, and like if she can break on every hit, she will just keep HP plussing and go crazy. So what you do is all you have to have is you have to have a Sephiroth BT effect up. And Ida LD, and Ida will just loop for the entire fight, right? Very boring, very not fun. I'm kind of fun, like I'm excited to get the LD just so I can maybe do like a video on it and show people how to do it, but I'm not actually going to do this for fights. The other thing is that people are excited for is now you can do Ida Roth with Quina in the 3rd slot, and now Ida's actually putting up max HP damage, so it's going to make it go a lot quicker. So I probably will do a video on that, provided I do pick up the Ida LD. I'm not going to go all my tickets to get it, because the main reason I want it is just so I can say I have every LD in the game, right? But I think doing that Quina Ida Roth video might be a fun one, just so you guys can see how it works. Then we have Guy. Guy is an Earth Enchant and Peril character, so one of his values is he kind of carries a rare element, but I think Gao is probably like my favorite Earth character in the game. Guy is a tank, but the thing with Guy as a tank, and he is a lock tank, tanks are really good, but I would say Guy is definitely like way on the low end of other tanks. Like I would say he's a very low priority tank. He's lacking a lot of things that other tanks have. One is he doesn't have FRBT, so he's gonna be a lot weaker that way, and he doesn't do counter damage, right? So like someone like Zac, I feel like just does it so much better. And even though Zac doesn't counter, Zac has very, very strong on-turn damage, and he's got FRBT. And obviously he can't compete with someone like Gladio or Rubicante, who's countering, doing a lot of crazy things. So Guy, not really anything you should be pulling for, to be honest. Then we have Paine. I've talked about Paine a couple of times, in videos coming up to this point. Paine is a character, I think, she kind of fits into the fun zone, where, like, she's going to be awesome, and, like, you can definitely do some really cool things with Paine, but she's not, like, a must-have, right? Paine, though, is such a unique, fun character that I think if you got the resources, and you enjoy the strategy of Paine, then she might be a really good character for you to pick up. And you have to think a lot more about Paine than you do with other characters. Now, some players might not like that. You might like your characters to be easier to play, then you might want to stay away from Paine. But Paine basically she's a dual role character. She can basically be one of the best buffers in the game, or she can be one of the best debuffers in the game, or she can do both, but then she's not going to be nearly as good at them, right? So if you do use Paine, I recommend you commit to either using her as a full buffer or a full debuffer, because then they're like substantially very, very good, right? Very ridiculous. Paine with her FRBT, I've talked about this before. Her BT is going to give her really good buffs if you do the buff side, and I think you get like free turn type of buffs as well. And then on the debuff side, you get like some really good poison things. And I think there's like a HP silence type thing in there as well. We'll go more over that. I'll do a character guide on her. We'll go over her kit more specifically. But just the short of it is Paine can be one of the best buffers or debuffers in the game. She is versatile in the way that like you can commit to making one character and you have two different roles you can use her at. So she is like a nice little toolbox piece where like you build one character, but you're kind of getting two different characters in one. I do think there is value in that, right? But is she going to compare to like Aerith, Quina, like longevity, a character you're going to use a ton? Probably not. I do think she does have some longevity though, because debuffers, like being that she's not your primary damage dealer, using her as a prime buffer or debuffer, like there is some longevity there, right? It's just there's a lot of competition for other stuff, and I think some players might not like the way she operates, that you got to think a little bit more. Some players though might really, really like that, right? There's a little bit more strategy. You don't just put her in the party and press buttons randomly. You can't just put her in any slot. She works like Luna Freya, where like her position in the party slot is very important. If you want to watch my old character guide on her, like her kit's pretty much the same, but my new one will talk a lot more about the BT and the FR stuff. But I would say, yeah, overall, these banners are pretty skippable. And the other thing with Paine's banner is there's not really a lot of value in the side characters, right? Like, Guy's pretty much a throwaway. Ida's, like, cool for the Ida Roth combo, but that's really about it. You're not really going to want to run either of them as a mainstay in your party. So, overall, guys, I would say probably skip these banners. I know there's a lot of Paine fans out there, though. So, if Paine's your favorite, definitely go get her. Like, she's going to be really good. You can do a lot of good things with her. But, you know, with Quina, Aerith, Core coming up, like these are other characters I think are just gonna be a lot more better. So anyways, guys, let me know if you're gonna summon or not, what y'all think. I'm just gonna hop in with tickets. I hope I get Paine's BT because I think she's gonna be really cool and fun, but my plan is just to like take it in FR and then probably hop out, right? So anyways, let me know what you guys are gonna do. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.